Do you want to save the motherfucking earth? Back in 20 something, I saw this video by famed now defunct YouTuber group Super Best Friends Play, who played that game. Me not knowing much about Platinum Games, I saw bits and pieces of it, and my brain just... Video games evolved as the media kept evolving. We literally started with lines and dots on a screen to literal humans that would stick me. Before we dive into the game, we can't talk about this without talking about Capcom. So many moons ago, Capcom released Devil May Cry. People liked it. Then they made the second one with the director of the first one not being told that they're making a second. It sucked. Then they made a third one and it worked pretty alright. Then a whole genre was made. A genre which centralized on fighting game depth, easy to learn but hard to master etiquette, and with stories of heart. We call them... Is it a hacker? Listen you tight lip shit, your moms are hack and slash. We call it character action games. Don't you motherfucking forget it. And then Hideki Kamiya decided to create a sub-studio where they created games with varying levels of style, aesthetics and charm, Clover Studios. And they shut down because people like games with less color than a public bathroom, and they moved on from Capcom to make Platinum Games. Platinum Games made a lot of games that were bringing with that old school Capcom flavor, which is a cool way of saying stylish games where you fuck shit up. We got Stripper Witch, Swoosh Shoot, some games I didn't play because Wii and DS was not a thing in India, and also Metal Gear Sashimi Simulator.
Bitch! They'll make America great again! What the hell are you talking about?
After all this came a game, not just any game, but the game, which was a clarion call to all the old school games you grew up with. A game made from the elements of childlike wonder, amazement, and sheer fucking insanity. This game is... The Wonderful 101 is an action game about a ragtag group of heroes who need to settle their differences to fight a greater evil until...
Insert anime trope about this isn't even my final form.
The game borrows its mechanics from a slew of other Clover games. It shares the aesthetics of Beautiful Joe, the drawing mechanism of Okami, and the sheer insane spectacle of literally every action game that Capcom or anything has ever put out. It's the perfect spectator game. But the game's not pulling no punches. The game is pretty difficult, and if you're not about that Wonderful 101 life, the game will make sure to let you know. The game is presented in a Pikmin style camera, which is like all the way back, and action can be a bit hectic but can be a bit of a lifesaver. Since you're always in the view of your units and the action, and you're locked in an arena usually, you can see the opponents and their moves. And this is thanks to its pulled back cam. That's what it's fucking called. It's a pulled back camera, You control the Wonderful 101 altogether, and the primary 7 members act as leaders who control the team, including normal civilians to other members of the Wonderful 101. You may be thinking, what does being a Wonderful 101 achieve? not much important. Being big fist, big sword and big...
Adieu!
Each member has a dedicated input to create a weapon synonymous to its user via the Wonderliner. With a simple stick movement, you can use the Wonderliner to draw the weapon you want. That is, if you want the fist, you just spin the stick in a circle motion. If it's a sword, draw a straight line, etc. Because it's a platinum action game, you need to be graded. Every level ends with a cumulative score of what your performance is, from the highest being pure platinum because of the consolation prize being
Boo! You stink!
the game is littered with secrets and special encounters to give you more scores or permanent life upgrades to make your playthrough a bit more manageable. The gameplay may be good, but what good is a game if it doesn't have a accompanying story? Well, as for the story, I won't reach spoiler territory, but if you have seen any one of these, then you can basically feel the story beats as they come. The story is simple but not exactly predictable. There are some moments that made me go from a wow to a holy shit. And the sense of escalation takes place during the final 2 chapters, culminating to what may be the single most greatest moment ever conceived in video game form. No. The arcade sections are also well balanced, changing the gameplay from action to side scroller, flying sections, boxing game, Space Harrier, because I think Hideki Kamiya really likes Space Harrier. And as for the people who are like, this story is not that important, but excuse me, I need to tell you, what the hell do you think that the story is not important? Every game, it just can't be a game. It needs to be a needs to be a story, a well thought story needs to be put there. That's how it needs to do whatever the hell you want. That's the older time simple games used to be like simple pass and the simple pass. Is the game perfect? Well, there can be some minor problems for the first time player. Some sections feel too drawn out, and unless you really know which secrets are where you need to go, the game can be unforgiving and brutal. Second, if you don't have one of these, because the mouse liner is kind of
나의 두 눈을 감으면 떠오르는
This game deserved better. This game was given a shit hand with a console that no one cared for and a campaign that is much more than it leads to be. The game is not just any generic action game that goes from point A to point Z. This game has an actual passion project for the creators who poured their heart and soul into this game. Because Wonderful 101, it's not just a game. Platinum Games is not just a developer, but they're an extension of you. They've planned and made all of this because once upon a time they were you. They were the kids who crowded around arcade machines and home consoles and saw who could beat what game using what tech. They were cheering along when the heroes were on the brink of defeat only for them to push through against odds and win the day. The Wonderful 101 is not just any game, it's an experience to hold. Amidst its comic-style visual and steep learning curve lies a journey that has maturity and heart. Against its hyper-loud set pieces and frantic gameplay, tell the story of honor, friends, and family. With a recent Kickstarter that went successful and a re-release that's practically on any platform, the game needs your love, the game needs your support. You need to fucking buy this game. This game is... You need to support the people. You need to let people know that there are games that are not just shooters or like MOBAs. There are games that actually give you experiences. There are games that actually make you feel things. The game's like fucking 8.99 rupees. So the game is like relatively light on your wallet. To sum it up, buy Wonderful 101. Support Platinum Games. Support games with actual gameplay and fun, and not just grindy fest and other things. Probably check out the other Platinum Games thing and just fucking support them. And like, I'll see you later.
How could you puny humans have possibly defeated me?
Funny, your bro said the exact same thing.
What?
You might not care about your bro like most people do, bro, but think of it this way. We're giving you a chance to make it up to him. In hell!